49 past the hour. Joining us now, former Treasury official and Morning Joe economic analyst Steve Rattner.
The man with the golden charts.
Oh, yeah. And the former mayor of New York City, Michael Bloomberg. Great to have you. You cut the ribbon.
My peeps.
You came and cut the ribbon at 30 Rock.
Right. Yeah,
10
but
years
the very
ago.
important thing is this is 10 years since I became an independent, and he just became an independent.
Yeah.
And it took him 10 years to listen
It
to
took
me.
you a long time.
It always does.
But I brought you something.
Oh, my gosh.
A purple tie. That's a combination of red and blue and independence.
I love it. All right, very good. I like it. I will wear it. Probably costs more than my salary.
Yeah, really. So Bloomberg bought you that? That's expensive.
No, this is a great present. Thank you so much. Mr. Mayor, we were just talking about the New York Police Department. There's a new book out that talks about their work during your administration. Yep. I still think it's one of the more remarkable achievements of government that New York City turned from what it was in the 70s and the 80s to what it is today. It's just
well, there are a lot of people that did that. And each mayor has built on what was left to him or her by the previous one and leaves some jobs for the next one. But I've always thought the strength of the police department, great commissioners, diversity, spending the money. We have spent a lot of money. It's a big police department. And also the strength of the officers at the site, the sergeants. The sergeants are terribly well trained, and I've always thought that that was one of the keys. The sergeant's the one that says, you go over there, you shoot, you don't shoot, you talk, you don't talk, whatever. That's what keeps things from spiraling out of control.
You know, Al Sharpton was here one day a couple of years ago. I think it was the summer of Ferguson. Some things were happening. There were protests across the country. We had a terrible incident in New York City.
Yep.
A lot of people went out and marched, but they marched peacefully. The police were there all along. And
Sharpton instantly deserves some credit. Sharpton, for all of, I don't agree with him on a lot of things, but Sharpton always was a force. In the end, he yelled and screamed, but then he quieted people down. Mm-hmm. And he deserves some credit. And Kelly and I both had good relationships with him.
So what is it about New York City? 8.5, 9 million people. Why is this the safest large city in America? What happened, and what lesson can cities like Chicago take from what you did for 12 years?
One of the things I've always thought is the geography of New York keeps it basically together. It doesn't spread out so far. And that's true that Staten Island and Brooklyn and Queens and the Bronx go out. But Manhattan is where the media is, and that's compressed. So we live together in a ways other people don't. And we depend on each other. We walk together, we take mass transit together, we go to the stores together. And so the diversions that other people see, we don't really see. 40% of all the people that live in New York City were born outside of the United States. And that's been true for many years.
Steve Rattner, it's a good time on this 10th anniversary to sort of assess where the economy is. That's your specialty. When we started the show, we were a year away from the meltdown of 2008. Here we are now with President Donald Trump in the fall of 2017, coming up on the fall anyway. How is the economy? How much responsibility does Donald Trump have for it? How much does Barack Obama have?
The economy continues to do more or less what it did under Barack Obama, which is to grow at around 2% with low inflation, creating 180,000, 200,000 jobs a year. Pay is finally starting to go up, although particularly for groups like white middle-aged men, they have a very, very long way to go. But I think the really central question is Donald Trump was elected to do something about the lives of these working-class white Americans who've been left behind. And if you look at his policies, none of them would actually do that. He wants to cut the budget in many key departments like labor and HUD and things like that. And he wants to cut taxes. We don't know exactly what, but all his tax plans so far have been on the rich.
So let me ask you, one of the great challenges, the rich keep getting richer, the poor keep getting poorer, the middle class keeps getting squeezed. Tuition for colleges keeps getting high. I mean, people just feel like every year they keep falling further and further behind. And this has been our economic reality for 20, 25 years. Why is that? And how do we turn that around?
Well, the reasons have a lot to do with a variety of factors, whether it's automation, whether it's globalization, whether it's training, whether it's skills, whether it's all of those different things. But
what has the biggest impact, China or automation?
Well, that's a big debate among economists. I think you would say in the earlier part of this period, whatever period you want to talk about, 30 years, it was probably automation. I think in the latter period, it's actually China. For all the talk about robots taking over jobs, productivity, which is a measure of robots, is actually increasing more slowly right now than it has been in a long time. So robots are not on the verge of taking over my life. But they're just the one point I want to make.
Actually, just the next 10 years, robots are actually going to host Morning Joe.
Yeah.
So it's
God willing.
God willing, yes. At least from 6 to 7.
Nobody can think they've been hosting for the last 10 years. So we'll see what happens in the next 10 years.
Yes.
But just the central point I just want to make quickly, because it relates to something Mike might want to talk about, is your question of how do we fix it? And there's really nothing in the Trump agenda that would fix it. The question to...
The first thing is global trade. We have reduced poverty in the world by 50% over the last 3 decades, virtually all in the third world, and all because of global trade. And if we want more business and more jobs for American workers, we have to find new markets. So cutting us off from other markets doesn't make any sense at all. And not being able to compete because we're afraid to go out and bring foreign labor in with new ideas and starting new businesses is just an anti-job creation program. They don't think of it that way, but to this business of we've just got to protect American jobs, yes, we do. We have to have more American jobs, but the ways you do it is going in exactly the opposite direction to some of the policies that the Trump administration has espoused up until now. Now, who knows what they're going to say tomorrow, and who knows what's going to get passed.
In an hour.
But, yes, in an hour.
You know, Joe mentioned the issues, and nearly everybody's familiar with the issues in Chicago. And other cities. One of the things that is striking about New York City, and you referenced 40% coming here from other countries, is the diversity, the nature of the city, the reflection that you see when you're on the subway or out in the streets. How does this happen on a daily basis with such an undercurrent of civility? There are certainly things that make the tabloids, but...
I've always thought, whether it's the federal level, the state level, the city level, it's the woman or the man at the top that really sets the tone and has 90% of the deliverables. People follow the leader. And so what Donald Trump says or tweets, people listen to that. We've seen people not come to America. Some of our employees don't want to work in America if they don't have U.S. passports because they say people don't like us here. And that's not good. At the state level, at the city level, you have to have a leader who stands up there, goes and visits people when there's a mistake or a disaster, somebody gets shot, whatever. You have to go out and walk into the crowd and say, I'm here, I understand, I'm going to find out what happens, I'm going to protect the people that are protecting us, the cops. Cops worry about going home at night, and rightly so, but you also have to make people think that you care and you will give everybody a fair shake. And I think in the United States, mayors, whether it was Dinkins or Koch before him, or Giuliani or Bloomberg or de Blasio, they set the tone. They don't overnight change it, but that's the difference. Now, what happens in Chicago, I don't know. Rahm Emanuel's a smart guy. I can't quite figure out why they have some of the problems they do, whether it's homeless. You go to California, San Francisco, homeless is a disaster. In New York, we see a little more homeless, but not a lot, not compared to any place else.
All right. Former Mayor Michael Bloomberg, thank you so much, and thank you for the tie.
That's a good one.
I will wear it with pride.
You can wear that on the air tomorrow.
I will do that.
All right, Steve Rattner. Remember he started out as the car czar?
He was the car czar. Now he's the man with the golden charge.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, both of you. All right.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.